It is so wonderful to see you, Deacon. I'm so
It's so
excited
nice
for
to
you.
see you.
All right, so now in this story, you are a vampire hunter. We've seen you play characters from mysterious figures to powerful fighters, but what side did this vampire hunter let you explore? Especially on the action side, because that's definitely not something that's new to you.
Yeah, I love adding like that, like being able to explore that athletic side of my characters. I think it's really nice to really get physical when you're in a role. It can just do different things for you and the character. I love like exploring vampires. I played a vampire in something called Being Human many years ago. Um, and I haven't really played in that space since. But I think there's something really interesting and curious about the sort of the psychological parallels with just being a human being and exploring the shadow self of vampires. So it was just nice to play in that space again. I think for me, her implied military background, I feel like she probably has a lot of pain and a lot of trauma, and she's found this little sort of community where she feels like she makes sense because that's what she knows how to do. She knows how to be violent. She knows how to hunt down the bad guys. And that's where she feels like she makes sense. But there's a solitude and a loneliness in that I thought was interesting to explore. And then the feeling of being pulled into like an even darker, more central space was like an interesting dichotomy for her, to like dance there. Like I feel like when she gets dressed and she's like role playing in the film, it's not where she's her most comfortable. But there's something about it that is like roping her in slowly.
Well, now that you've played a vampire and a vampire hunter, is there one that you feel that you enjoy more?
I think it's all fun, and I think that like whatever role you're playing, whether you're the hunter or the vampire, I think they're both roles are struggling with similar things. I think that's why people really responded to like the angel character and Buffy, because even though Buffy had her own challenges, like Angel, had his, and I think they're both really fun roles to play because they're both very complicated.
What about your killer outfits? How involved were you in the process for your wardrobe?
I've always like a little bit involved, but Adam had like a very strong vision for her. He's so specific, he's very philosophical, and um, he has such a deep wealth of knowledge of the world and film and what he wants. So I really trusted. So there were things that he was just really specific about, and I was like, yeah, okay, like I trust you. And even with the voice and some of the lines, like he was really very specific about how he wanted like a certain thing done. And because I didn't, obviously, as an actor, you're just thinking about your character. You don't necessarily always have like, well, the director's vision in mind. I just leaned into it and I trusted like what he had in mind.
Well, if you need to get those red boots off your hand, I'll be in line. Um,
What? I think they were off Amazon.
really, those
Yeah.
boots were killer.
They were amazing. And you know what? They were really comfortable. And I won't lie, walking on cobblestones, like in Savannah, Georgia, which is just a gorgeous, gorgeous city, is not the easiest thing, but my feet never hurt in them. So I would definitely get a
I'm
pair.
surprised to hear that. Okay, but I mean, you looked phenomenal as always. Deacon, three words to describe this film.
Wild, quirky, and fun.
If there was a vampire apocalypse, what's the first thing you'd grab before leaving your house? And which one of your co-stars are you definitely taking for your survival?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess I would definitely pick Rosa because she's fierce and funny and just hilarious. And I guess I would grab, if it's only one, I mean, a wooden stake.
With the Nepali Australian background, what's something about your Nepali culture that is so valuable to you that you'd like to share with others?
I think it's just the humility and being humble. I mean, there's something about the culture that just is is humble, and authentic. And I let's take it, make it authentic, I guess. The best part of like being in this world and getting to the privilege of like being a part of making movies is the relationships I make with all the people around me who are also involved, like the boom guy or gal, or makeup and hair, and the props and your set costumers, and that relationship and getting to know their stories. I think that authenticity and that curiosity is part of the embedded in the culture. I hope people enjoy it and they have fun. I think it's there's a lot of tongue in cheek. It's wild. It just speeds through, and I just hope people have a good time, because sometimes you need movies like that. Like, I mean, we need all kinds of different movies, but this is just like it's entertaining, and I think there's a lot of grounded, beautiful performances like sewed into it. Thank you, Rasha. See you
Take
soon.
care.